While most of us are working super hard to get to financial independence, did you know that financial independence is just one of the 7 levels of wealth? And understanding these levels can help you go from one to the next more quickly and more efficiently, and hopefully reach your goals sooner. So that's what today's video is about. The 7 levels of wealth is a framework put out by a gentleman by the name of Grant Sabatier. And as I said, the reason I think it's important is understanding these levels help us go from one step to the next step and hopefully get to the financially independent step sooner and more consciously, and hopefully even a step or two beyond that. So let's jump in and start talking about these 7 levels of wealth. You know, the first level is dependence. And most of us as kids start off as a dependent, right? Our parents were helping us out before we could take care of ourselves, before we had our own money. And so that's level 1. And then level 2 is self-sufficiency. And I remember as a teenager, as somebody 15, 16, 17, just getting started, not having the skill level to be able to make much money, I remember thinking, you know, how am I ever going to get to the point where I get from self-sufficiency to having a little bit of breathing room, and just looking and saying, how am I going to, you know, put myself in a position that someday I can pay for a house, that someday I can get married, that I can have kids. And that's really what the first 3 levels of wealth are about. You know, the first one, again, dependency. Second one, self-sufficiency, making enough money that you can pay rent, making enough money that you can pay for your car, pay for food, the necessities, really just the bare bones, the necessities of life. And then breathing room is where you, really the term I use is having an emergency fund, having 3 months or 6 months worth of living expenses in case you end up, God forbid, losing your job or something. I have to be careful here. I'm in a canal. As you can see, that was kind of close. But that's, you know, that's the breathing room, is having that emergency fund, having a couple months of living expenses, preferably 6 months or more of your living expenses. You know, they say that roughly half of Americans could not pay for a $1,000 unexpected car repair. So getting to that 3rd level of wealth is super important, because that's when you get flexibility. And it turns out that's what not the next level, but the level after that is called. The next level is stability. It's when you've been making money, good money, whether you built up your skill set going to trade school, going to college, or just building up your skill sets in other ways, doing a coding boot camp or something like that. But you have the stability of a job that pays a livable wage, and you've had that for a while, and you have the confidence that you're going to be able to keep that job and or find another one if you were to lose that job. So that's level 4, is stability. And then after you've been able to save some money, you go from stability to flexibility. And flexibility means you have the flexibility to decide how you spend your money. Right now I'm on this beautiful cruise here, canal cruise in Europe. And, you know, I'm very grateful that I get to do a wonderful vacation like this. My wife's here with me. And that's what flexibility is about. You get to decide, you know, what are the adventures, what are the wants in your life that are important to you? For me, I'm much more about travel and vacation. Other people might be about driving a new car or new technology, having the gadgets, whatever it is. And there's no right or wrong. You work hard for your money, so you spend it the way that you want. But that's level 5 is stability. And then level 6 is where most of us are working to get in our lives, and is probably where the vast majority of my viewers are in their lives, which is getting the financial stability. And you know, I think there's 2 levels of financial stability. One is, you know, if you had to, sorry for the background noise. There's a road next to the canal. The first level of financial stability is kind of a budget for retirement. So it's not necessarily living the lifestyle that you want, but if you were to lose your job, you have the freedom to say, you know what, if you don't want to work anymore, you don't have to. So that's the first, let's call that financial independence A. And then financial independence B is having enough money to have a nice retirement. Behind me here, you can see there's a nice cafe. This town is an expensive town, so you have the money to get a hotel in a place that might be a little more expensive. So that's financial independence B, which is having the cash flow, having the lifestyle that's important to you, that matches up with what you're looking for. And then the next level is getting beyond what financial independence is, and that's to having abundance. And having abundance means that you've got the money to support the people and the causes that are important to you. And you have the flexibility to do that, maybe to help out your adult children in a more generous way than you otherwise would be able to. Again, it's the causes and the people that are important to you. And then above that, there's, the Jeff Bezos of the world. I think we would classify it a level above abundance. But I think what's important about this video is understanding what the levels are and what some of the things are that you can do to get from one level to the next and to get there as quickly and as efficiently as you can. And that's really one of the main reasons for my channel is helping people understand what are the key decisions that can make a difference in your wealth, that can make a difference in helping you reach your goals, and what are those trade-offs. And then as you're fortunate enough to get to the final levels, to get towards financial independence, then thinking through, do you want the lower level of financial independence, which means you can retire sooner? One of the things I talk about on my channel is if you're 60 years old, you likely have less than 1,000 weeks of healthy, active time remaining. And so the question is, do you want to use some of those years up, the youth of your senior years, in order to get to the next level of financial independence or abundance? Or do you want to say, you know what, I want to take full advantage of this youth. There's the next chapter for me. And as you think through that, there's a video I think that will help you, which is 5 reasons to retire as soon as possible. I think it's critical that you make the right decision for you as to when you retire and how much you continue to sacrifice time for money to continue to climb up those levels of wealth. Again, 5 reasons to retire as soon as you can. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.